Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap morning session for Monday, January 11th. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder and head moderator for Quantum Leap Futures. This is our morning leap session where we take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure, then we drill down to our trade levels and our targets for the day, and try to figure out what our main hypotheses are. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own trade metrics. This is a subscription room, so if you're interested in coming in and checking us out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There is no website. It's not a commercial venture. If you'd like to call me, feel free to do so. I love talking about the markets with anybody. 647-545-8065. If you come into the room, you will need a Skype account, so Skype is free to open up and easy to do. Send me a contact request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. And of course, if you like this video, there's lots more. There's probably, I think we're over 300 days now on YouTube. Just do search for Quantum Leap Futures. There's some more under Quantum Leap Trading. And then if you like what I do, please follow me on Twitter at Crazy2. Okay, so let's first take a look at what happened on Friday. Our main hypothesis was a neutral day with a takeout of the overnight low at 28.50. Hey, there's that 28.50 again. That thing's becoming our Globex high right now is 28.50 as well. And we were actually looking for a neutral day. I thought they'd pop to the top, take out that 53, and then come down and take out the overnight low. I was targeting that 24. We missed it by 2 ticks, and then of course we were later in the day we were looking at that 31, the key line in the sand. And if we got back below that 31, I was looking at the next big target below at 15.25 with some support coming in at the 9.75. When we got above the 31 after taking out the overnight low, and we made that 18 3/4 point rally, I thought if we got above the 39 area that we'd actually get continuation and get the neutral day put in. But they failed at 43, got below that 31, and then we took that short. It was a nice short, and then into the close we took that long. I think I got long. Where did I get long? 12.50. And wrote it up into, I closed it out at 17.75. It was a great trading day. Again, we did come down to that next big target, so that's been taken care of. Overnight, we've gone down and hit a low down at 18.93.50. Remember, we had that target down at 18.95.75. That got taken out. So let's take a look at the news, see what we've got in news. Okay, we have had the housing starts. Canadian housing starts was missed quite badly. In fact, expected 202 came out at 173. 10 o'clock we've got labor market conditions. Then at 10:30 we've got Bank of Canada business outlook survey, and nothing really more than that on the news. Of course, this is the kickoff of earnings week. Mark this site, Earnings Whisper. This is where I look at the earnings, and the big one today is going to be Alcoa. It's after the market. There's 8 after the market, and then it really gets busy this week in terms of earnings, and that's going to help drive this market as well. Taking a look at the COT report, as I mentioned on Saturday morning, we will be putting out the QLTP again, probably end of the month. We're going to start working on it again and making some changes to it, and Howard's bringing in all the data. So we will get the daily Quantum Leap trade plan sheet out at the end of the month. But taking a look at the COT report, as of Friday, the commercial and the large spec are now net short, and retail is gotten further net long. So this is a warning sign that a bigger move down can happen. So just pay attention to this. It's going to be interesting next week. I want to see if we get any type of bounce, whether the large spec or the commercial get net positive again, or they stay net short. My thinking is, thank you. My thinking is that it's likely to stay net short. All right, so let's go and take a look at the macro picture, as I always like to do. I like to start my day with the monthly. Use a simple candlestick chart. All my moving averages are a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA. I'm looking for where we are within the trend. Do we have slope and separation? Are we violating the trend or challenging the trend? You can see that we are getting, a violation of the trend again. We got the violation in August and September, but they took it back in October and held in November and challenged in December, and now we broke again and likely to get a move down off of this. The trend is to the downside. On the weekly, we do have a technical gap setting up with this big move. We had 133.5 point move down on the weekly, so this is a pretty strong move down, likely to get some type of a bounce. There is a naked cross that we created here at 2009. Remember, it is a naked cross, but it's on the weekly, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be taken out this week. But we do have a technical gap, so looking for somewhat of a move up, but the overall, start of a trend is possible to the downside on the weekly. As we move down into the daily, you can see we are starting to get slope and separation. Again, another technical gap on the daily. Right now, a closeout of the daily would take us up to 1974 area. I really think it's going to be 67.75, which is another key line in the sand above us. There was a key line in the sand below. As I mentioned, here's that one naked cross that we kept on watching on the daily that got taken out in the 31 area. That's why that 31 was so important to us last week. But the overall trend is starting to show to the downside with slope and separation. Going into the intraday, you can see that we've got really good slope and separation. This is where I start taking more attention to the naked crosses. There's still one up here at 2050. 775, but again, it's on the 4-hour and not necessarily going to get taken out right away. But we had a little bit of a technical gap overnight with that move down to 93.50, and we've come up and closed that technical gap. And so far, we have rejected the 9 from below, losing a little bit of slope here. Watch this area at 1928. Obviously, the double top at 28.50 is important. If we get above there, then we could get a little bit of a bigger move up. And we'll talk about levels when we get to the composite chart. Going down to the 1 hour, you can see that we had good slope and separation. We had that technical gap. They closed the technical gap, and now they've moved up, and we've got the possibility of a start of an upward trend. So as we go down in the time frames, the trend is being challenged to the downside, and we're starting a new trend to the upside. So we've got 30-minute, we've got slope and separation. We came back down here, closed the technical gap, came up, put the double top in at 28.50, and so far, we've rotated back down off of it. Came back down to the 21.50. I told Marvin 22, he took 25, and and now we've bounced off of it again. So the trend is starting to the upside on the 30-minute. I wanted to just let me go back to the 30-minute for a minute. On the 30-minute, there is no real, there's this naked cross all the way up here at 1985.25, but they took care of the business on the way down for those naked crosses they had left. But when you get down to the 50-minute, 15 minute. Now we've got some below us too. We've got one down here at 950, 975. That's also right at that important CLVN. There's not much more above us on the 15 minute. I got one at 1983.75, so that's going to be this one way up here. And then you can see we do have an upward trend going. It was challenged and it's starting to accelerate again on the 15 minute. Going to the 5 minute, we have another naked cross down here at 1920.50. So we do have some work above and below us. So I'm looking for quite a bit of a rotational day today. Probably another move down, but I still think that this 28.50 double top is not going to hold in the Globex. So the 97% probability of taking out the overnight high, overnight low, I'm putting the emphasis to the upside right now, as long as we hold above that 975 key line in the sand. So let's go and take a look at the structure here. We had the gap down, and it was a gap and go, and then we had further weakness in the Friday session. We're inside of this longer term micro composite with the value area up here at 71.75 and the value area low at 83.75. I thought last night we could get down to the 86.75 area. We held at the 93 level. You can see that 93.50 or 93 and a quarter was the value area, or the microcomposite VPOC, which was a former, it wasn't naked. So they bounced off that level. I think Marvin pointed out too that it was a value area low on one of the time frames. Right now, we're in a very toothy section of the microcomposite. I changed my sensitivity on my my HVNs and LVNs. I was running a sensitivity of 30. I've now moved it down to 18. I wanted to bring in a little bit more of these CHVNs to get more defined. Right now, the 2-day value area low is at 25.75. If we get above that, again, I'm looking for that 28.50 double top to be taken out and a move up to this 32.75. 32.75 is going to be our key line in the sand above. If we get above it, then I'm looking for the bigger move to come back in to where we tried to hold value the last 2 days after we broke out of the former value, and a move up into the 38 area. Next, key level above us is going to be 41, and above 41, I think we make the bigger move up into test the 67, and we grind around in this area between 47 and a quarter and 62.50. If we cannot get back inside of the 2-day value area, this is very toothy right here. A lot of undetermined fair value, 24, 20, 15.50. Again, that 15 and a quarter was our next big target below, 11.75. And then our key line in the sand is going to be just below Friday's low and the CLVN at 9.75. It also puts us below a moving average. And then I'd be looking for a move down. First target, 5.75. 375 is a little bit of support, and then anything below that, I think we test the 1900s, we don't hold, and we come down and we make a new low below that 93.50 area, and the next target down below is still at this 86.75. Levels to the downside below are 78.75, 76. The big one, next big one is going to be 70. 67 and a quarter, but it's really this 48.75 that I've got my eye on, because if we break below there, then I think we get a bigger move down towards this 11 and a quarter. And believe it or not, I think that could be a possibility if we do not hold the 1900s this week. If we hold the 1900s or we dip back down into the 18s and bounce back up, then I think we could, get a slow grind up to do some repair up above. And of course, if we get back inside of the prior 3-day microcomposite, the target above is going to be up here at this 85. We've got a gap close here at the 86 and a quarter, the 3-day microcomposite VPOC, and then 91.75 becomes the next big resistance above. If we get above 91, then I think we dip back up into the 2000s and take a run back towards this microcomposite value area low towards 31. And that would be another 100-point move back up. But right now we've got to concentrate on the smaller levels. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's happened overnight and start moving our levels over. So our overnight low is down at 93.50. Our overnight high so far, and it could expand up, so I haven't really, I'm not sure it's not going to be higher, but it's at 98.50. I'm sorry, 28.50. Now our daily ATR, 20-day ATR range is running at 35.38. So off of the bottom of the 93.50, our daily upside ATR target is one tick above the overnight high. So it's sitting at 28.75. So far, if that 28.50 holds, 28.50 less the 20-day ATR 35.38, our downside ATR target is 18.93 and a quarter, which is one tick below our overnight low. So we basically in Globex put our daily ATR range in effect. So that's why I'm looking for a rotational day. I don't want the overnight low. All right, and then our overnight VPOC, we're just coming back down. We just hit it right now. I don't think it's going to shift. It could shift if we come back up into the 22 area, but right now it is sitting at 20. So I'm going to put that in at 20. And we've got an LVN down here at 1375. I'm going to use that as a trade area. Get rid of this. 1375. And there's not much more information I need from the Globex right now, so I can take that down, and we'll move this down. Our key warning line is going to be right here at the 1750. Really looking to get short below the 1750, and then I'll accelerate it with the break below the 1375 for takeout of the overnight or the Friday close at 1175. That is also a CHVN. And then our key line in the sand is going to be the 975. If we get below that 975, I'm targeting 905.75, 1900. But of course, I'd be looking for a move down to test the overnight low. Below the overnight low, then I'm looking at this 96.95 area. I'm going to I'm going to use the 96.75. I'm sorry, 86.75. And then below that, the next big target below us right now is down here at the 81, and support coming in just below us at 78.75. Anything below 78.75, everybody's looking at the 66.65 area. Multiple reasons why, technically, but the reason I'm watching it is the naked VPOC and the naked gap close down here, and below that level, I'm looking for some support to come in here in around the 59 area. And below 59, it'll be our next key line in the sand at 48.75, and that's going to be a big one because it's going to be psychological as well as technical. I don't think we're going to get down here today. I'm just setting up for the week right now. And then below 48.25, I've got 42. Some support coming in at 40.50. And then below that, I've got 35.75. 32. And 32 is going to be another key line in the sand when we get down there. And then anything below 32, the next big target below is going to be down here at 18.11 with a little bit of support coming in at 24.75. And then, of course, below the 18.11 is going to be 1800, and we won't go any lower than that right now. I don't think we're going to get there right now. Above us, we've got a little bit of resistance or support right now. It's support at 21, but this whole level between 1750 all the way up to 25 is a low volume node. So there's really no edge right here. So I'm going to use the value area low here at 25. If you want to be aggressive to the short side, you could take the break below the 21.75, but I would suggest that you be careful. I would be using the 25. I'm going to use the 25. And then above the 25, look for the overnight high and that double top getting taken out at 28.50 and test of our daily ATR. And then if we break that, I'm looking for a move back up into the key line in the sand. We've got the 32.75, but we've got the midpoint and the VWAP here at 31.75. So it's like, you know, a double trade area. You don't want to be short until you're below 31.75, and you don't want to get long until you're above 32.75. But above 32.75, first target's going to be 35, but more important, I'm looking at that 38 to 39. I would front run the 39, but we're likely to go to 39. But whoops, get the right one. The 2-day, price acceptance is at 38. But if we get back in here, and especially once we're back inside of value, then look for the 80% destination trade, right through the 39 up into this 46. But you're going to get a little bit of resistance here at the 41. Above 41, look for the destination trade up to the open and the value area high at 46.75. And then above 46.75, there's a CHVN at 47.25. Look to get in and get funded there. Really, you know what? You're really going to have to use this. I would use this 46 through to 47.25 and wait to get long above there, because we're probably going to bounce and come back down to test the 41s off of the value area high. And then above that, we've got the 53 and a quarter. You could front run it at 52 and a quarter, and then above 53 and a quarter, our next big one is going to be at 60.75. And then above there, we've got that the 67.75. Our weekly ATR is running 77.34. So our weekly ATR target to the upside, I'm going to just edit this because this is going to be up now, not down. Is up at 1970.75. And then above that, we're looking for the bigger move up into 85. I don't think it's going to happen today, so I'm not going to bother with that upside. And then off of the overnight high so far, which is our week high at 1928.50, our weekly ATR to the downside is down at 1851. Uh, 1851 and a quarter. So we do have range to get down there. Of course, that'll be adjusted as we move above that 28.50. So far we're holding below this 25. We've got 15 minutes to go. So I'm hoping that we don't break the overnight high yet. If we do, you could probably front run and look for the expansion of the Globex high if we get above this 25. Let's take a quick look at the Keltner. You can see that the center line is here at 23.50. A move to test the upper Keltner is going to take us up to that overnight high. So I would take the long above here right now into the 28.50. If we get back below the lower, the center Keltner line, a move down to test the lower Keltner is going to take us to that warning line at 17.50 and probably move further down. Quick look at gold. We've got this, this price acceptance going on. We talked about, the breakout of this longer term value and price acceptance. They just before they broke out, they accepted this value at 72 area, broke out. Now we're trying to hold value higher. We're holding in the 1100s. If we hold above 1100s, the next target above is this 1106.30 and then resistance at 1112.40. Above there, I'd be looking for further expansion up and the slow grind that I'm looking for up. First target above is 1810, resistance at 22. The next big target above us is all the way up here at 43.90. So we're going to chop around in this area now that we broke back out of value. Key line below us to watch is this 1085. If we break below the 1085, then I'm looking for, I think you got a pretty good short into this 74.40 area and more likely down into the 72.30. If we do not hold inside of value this next time down and we break below the 1065.60, there's nothing holding us up, and I don't think we're going to find inventory and buyers with conviction down here the next time. I'm looking for a bigger move down to test the lower side of this balance. There's nothing holding us up here all the way down to 29. And if we don't hold 29, the next big destination is a test to the 1,000 level and probably dip into the 900s. So that's what I'm looking at today, gang. Still trading battling this area at 25. Watch to see if they hold the Keltner center line. If they don't, then look for the move down into the test that 17 level. Probably take out the overnight or Friday's close. But if they get outside of the, or get back inside of Friday's value, look for that double top to be taken out. I think we're going to have a fairly big range, but I think it's going to be some larger rotations. I'm looking at a possible range between the 41 and the 909.75. Anything below 975, I think we accelerate to the downside and dip and break out that overnight low and test some of these lower 1800s. So that's going to be it for the pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.